like them.
Whoa, it's blue!
I told you. Your mouth is blue. The smell. I hope I don't throw up.
Hey, what y'all doing?
Hey, what y'all doing?
If you only know how long I've been putting this off.
It's been a while.
This equipment been paid for, dude. Like,
yeah,
it's been
that's
paid
pretty
for.
bad. That's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, so what's up?
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the inaugural episode of Creative Chaos. If you know me at all, you know that I have not shut up about this little idea that I've had for a very long time.
I think this has been like months in the making.
Yeah, I was voted most talkative in my class in high school, but the funny part was I was homeschooled, so
I was about to say.
I'm just looking directly at the camera, by the way.
Oh, can we do that? Can I break the wall?
Just break the walls down.
Hey.
That's crazy. Anyways, my name is Hunter Ezell. This is my lovely wife, Logan Ezell.
Hey.
Tell me about yourself, girl. What's up?
Hey, what's up? I have been looking forward to this because you've been looking forward to this. I feel so honored that you want me to be your co-host.
Yeah, she'll be co-host sometimes.
Yeah, I'll be
sometimes
here every
it'll
once in a
just
while.
be me, you know. Sometimes the boys just need to come up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes it'll be just Hunter and somebody else, and then
The boys need to come up in here, but I can't get almost 3 minutes into this and not tell you guys that we recorded another episode before this about a month ago. And whenever I tell you it was absolute bona fide dog water, we sat down and we were like, there's no way we can give the people this. There's no way.
it just wasn't quality. It was not good. We had to redo it, so that's what we're doing today.
But the good news for you is we've already got 2 other episodes recorded with 2 completely polar opposite guests. And I cannot wait for you to see them. But you're probably like, what is creative chaos? Well, Logan, what do you think it is? Because I honestly do not know what it is. We will find out as the weeks and months and years go on. But I'm looking to find out what it is that makes people tick. You know, certified yapper. I really, really enjoy learning the ins and outs of people, what they're into. You know, a lot of people, they look at me, they think, oh, he just films weddings. That's all he does. That's all I am. He probably sleeps, wakes up, edits, goes and films weddings. For the most part, that might be true, but I also have a lovely wife. I've got 2 dogs, Max and Ruby, named after the TV show about the 2 bunnies in England. And I'm a Lego fanatic. Also play drums. I suck at Fortnite. Logan, what are some of your interests?
Oh, you've asked me 2 questions in one. You asked me earlier, you said, what is creative chaos? And then you described what you thought it was. So let me tell you my take before I answer that question. I think that when you were first talking about this, we were going to spin it as like a wedding focused situation, like photographers, videographers, you know, planners, florists, all the things. But then, like you just mentioned, there's more to you creatively than just photography and videography, you know? And then for me, like, you know, I draw, I work at a flower shop. I love plants. I also love Legos. There's like...
She doesn't love Legos as much as I do.
I don't love Legos as much as he does, but I try.
Yeah.
I do. I've been given gifts that I still haven't created the Lego art. What do you call it? Is that it? I don't know.
You were given a...
I have a flower.
Yeah,
The sunflower.
Lego botanicals are absolutely nuts.
Yeah, those are my favorites. I'm still working on my succulents. Anyways, not about Legos. But there's just more to us creatively than weddings. And I think that that's what this is. And so even if we have like someone on that we're interviewing who is in the wedding industry, like
I'm not going to ask them about I might ask them about what presets they use, their shooting style. But I want to know what they do outside of weddings, I will tell you, I'll give you a couple little hints. Our first two guests are not in the wedding industry whatsoever. Very, very excited for you to see those. I think a lot of the times you will see in the wedding industry, like that can easily become 100% your personality.
oh, for sure. And that's okay. That's
It's
not
totally
a bad
okay.
thing.
You're passionate about what you do. I'm passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
But, I'm also passionate about a billion other different
Right.
things.
And I think we ran into that like last year for me specifically, like not so much you. Like I felt like I was at a standstill creatively and I had a really hard time going to weddings. So we kind of shifted the way that things worked for us. And I think that, it has benefited us tremendously.
I think one of the greatest things that Logan and I have done for our marriage and for our family business, it's so crazy to say that Ezell Film Company is a family business. I am not passing this on to Theodore Roosevelt Ezell. Okay.
That's
This
a
is
cute
me.
name.
Teddy.
Teddy.
Oh my God.
Teddy Ezell.
Teddy Ezell. Hey, that's cool.
It's kind of cute.
Write that down.
I'll put it in the notes.
Anyways, we're not naming our kid that, Mama. Please, Mom,
Yeah,
if you're
please
listening to
don't say
this,
anything.
please stop. One of the greatest things that Logan and I did for us was Logan being able to go full time with me and, quit the proverbial 9 to 5. If you work a 9 to 5, that is fantastic. That works for you. If you think that works for you. But, if you are the type of person that works a 9 to 5, but you want to break out of that, I promise you take an absolute leap of faith and you go for it, because Logan and I have been so blessed by the great Lord above being able to say that she is full time with me and she gets to do what she absolutely loves the most in the entire world, besides me and the dogs and the great Lord, is plants. Holy crap. She loves plants.
I love plants. I love plants and I love to draw and I love to be at home. So that's another
you probably
thing.
love that I'm not butting in every time you talk, like the first
Hey,
episode.
listen, the first episode I told Hunter, I was like, listen, next time, like, people are going to come for you if you don't let me complete my sentences, which he wasn't doing it in like a bad way. That's just how we talk.
I just got really excited.
But that's just how we talk on the daily is we're just, always bouncing ideas and things.
Probably due to my chronic ADHD.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have.
I'm not as bad as some of our friends. They can't sit down.
That's true.
They got to all constantly be doing something.
Yeah. I think that's you, though.
That is me. So I think about this becoming a family business, seeing, how far we've come with everything. I think it's cool. In the past month, Logan and I have filmed in Brooklyn, New York. We filmed a Hindu wedding in Atlanta, Georgia. It was actually Perry, Georgia. The bride got on to me for that. She was like, it's not Atlanta. I was like, okay, there must be a big difference. There was. Perry was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed I really enjoyed the bride and the groom's family.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed for both weddings that we did out of state. And then just this past week, we had the extreme honor of filming a wedding on another planet.
Another planet.
I went to space, Katy Perry, for longer than you did.
That's crazy. Where did we go?
Pandora.
I hope everyone knows.
I told
where that
Mama
is.
we went to Pandora. She was
Shut
like,
up.
why'd you go to the jewelry store?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Mamaw.
Yeah.
We love her.
Mama's got to be on the pod at
So
some point.
if you're like Mamaw and you are also like, why did you go to the jewelry store for a wedding? We went to Animal Kingdom.
At Walt Disney World.
And Pandora, if you don't know, is from the Avatar movies. So there's like floating rocks. like very neon, exotic plants. You
And
can
it
hear
was also at 5 in the morning.
it was very early. If you're ever considering getting married at Disney, you have two options. It's either very early in the morning or like at midnight, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So, dude,
But our bride and groom, can I just say, like, if we've ever filmed your wedding and like we're still friends after the fact, that is like my favorite thing.
these folk love us so much. They conned us into getting annual passes. I say con, but I did it willingly.
Yeah.
We have annual passes to Walt Disney World Resort.
Which it was cheaper with like all the things.
The way
going
everything
on.
worked out, we still paid for our park admission.
Just because we were gonna.
We didn't want to hound that cost off to them. Plus, we go enough to Disney World. We were like, let's just go ahead.
It was already in the budget for the year.
And so once we calculated everything, you have to go to Disney World as an out-of-state resident 9 times to pay for the annual pass or to consider you having your money being made back. And, dude, phenomenal investment, I think.
Yeah.
We're going later on in July.
Yeah.
We also got to
excited.
go to Universal Studios' Epic Universe before the park even opened. So the park doesn't even open up until, at the time of us recording this, it opens up on the 22nd of May.
Yeah.
So
In about a week or so.
about a week or so.
But we went and it was so cool. I'm gonna speak for you. I think your favorite was Nintendo World. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Nintendo Switch coming to the Ezell household June.
Nintendo Switch 2. Tate Wells, if you are watching this, I cannot wait to rendezvous with you, brother, on Mario Kart World.
I can't with them.
But
We should have like a Tate feature.
Tate needs to be. He needs to do like he does for the New Work Fellowship podcast
Yeah.
and randomly cut in. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think Tate should just.
But Epic Universe, dude. Epic Universe, you know, I love you. I really do. But if there's one thing you need shade.
There was absolutely no shade. I was dying at one point. We were in line for the How to Train Your Dragon.
What's his name?
Hiccups.
Hiccups Wing Gliders.
That's what it is.
That is like a family roller coaster. It's comparable to, I want to say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, if I had to tell you anything, I think.
Yeah. Which I thought that ride was Stardust Racers, which if you know anything about Epic, you're probably laughing at me right now. I literally thought the Stardust Racers ride was themed to How to Train Your Dragon.
She was like, why is the entrance out here?
I know. I was like, why is this outside of the How to Train Your Dragon world?
Logan just watched How to Train Your Dragon for the first time this past week, and I made it about 30 minutes in before falling asleep. I'm sure it was a fantastic movie. I was just really tired. But we went to Epic Universe. That was absolutely phenomenal. We did fly out later on that day, so we really didn't have that much time to experience it.
I think we only rode 3 rides.
Yeah, we rode. So there are 4 separate worlds on top of Celestial Park, which is in the middle of the park, and you have to enter 4 different portals to go into the separate worlds, right? So you have Nintendo World, you have Dark Universe, you have Paris and the Ministry of Magic for Harry Potter, and you have How to Train Your Dragon. You got 4 worlds, and oh my gosh, do you feel immersed? I
love the way they did that.
Oh my
Because I
God.
always compliment Disney on how they really like the ride queues, like they're very immersive. Like the Harry Potter world, it's immersive. But that like going into the little green tube and hearing the like sound effects, like what's the sound effect? It's like doo doo doo.
Yeah, it's like the 1-up sound. Or
Yeah,
something
the
like
1-up
that.
sound.
No, the green warp pipe.
Yeah.
sound.
So like you go up a literal escalator.
And you know what? You know what we're gonna do? We're actually gonna put footage of this. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, we're actually gonna put footage right here.
Yeah. And if you're listening, I'm sorry. I think that was really smart on their end because that's something that like not like the 4 different worlds, like, yeah, like you have Harry Potter world and that's great. And like when you ride the train, like that aspect of it is very immersive, but like I don't think there is another park that is quite like that, where you are entering into something and then it changes as soon as you walk in.
Oh, 100%. I think it's nuts. I really, really just enjoyed how you can't see. I think a lot of people that consider themselves theme park experts, they are talking about how one thing Disney does really well is sight lines,
Yes.
where you can't see certain things, or certain things are painted certain colors, so you won't
Yes.
see them.
Yeah.
For example, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind building, it's painted sky blue.
Yep.
And
It
and
usually matches the sky.
yeah, but in Epic Universe, there are some instances where you can clearly see outside of the world and stuff like that. But I think you just got to stay locked in.
Yeah.
Lock in. What are you talking about? Lock in,
Lock in.
dude. Yeah, we're going back to Epic Universe. Probably gonna do some fun stuff out there. Gonna get to ride everything else we didn't get to ride. I will say that if you are thinking about taking young children, I don't think that's a good idea right now. Obviously, you do what
I
you
would
want.
wait.
Do what you want, but I am under the opinion that, I think, I see on TikTok sometimes, like Lilo and Stitch is coming out next Friday.
Yeah.
And I saw a TikTok that said, hey, leave them kids at home. This is for us. It's like a grown woman talking.
Yeah.
She's like, leave them home.
It's for us.
They got their Peppa Pig. They got
Yes.
Blippi. This is for us.
Yes. I agree.
Epic Universe is for the adults that were once kids.
Well, and I don't think
That's a bar, actually.
That is a bar. I like that. I don't think Universal's for. I never thought Universal was for kids. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough kiddie rides.
Yeah.
Like it's
We went to DreamWorks Land at
that
Universal
might be the kiddie.
Studios.
That's the kiddie area.
I was like, man, I'm so excited to go see Shrek. That line was so long.
It was so long, and it was really just like there was no. I don't know if there's not a ride. Like it's just really annoying to me.
Yeah.
Like even Yoshi's ride, like low key disappointed me, but like at least there's a ride.
Yeah.
You know.
Sidebar for Yoshi's, I had no idea about this. Did you know that they closed that ride a couple days before we went so they could cut holes in the bottom of all the Yoshis because whenever it would rain, it would flood.
Shut
the
up.
water would hold at the bottom of the ride vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
So they have little drain holes in them now, apparently.
Oh, that's
I saw that on
I don't know
TikTok and I
why
thought that
someone
was
wouldn't think of
pretty
that.
crazy.
wow.
But I think this did not mean to turn into a
This
theme
just-
park episode.
I know we need to shift gears, but finish your thought. if
I
you
grew
haven't.
up playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that started my video game addiction. And, that's another one of my interests. I'm very excited about the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be
That
fun.
is, I think they're doing a midnight release for that, but these old bones and this 28-year-old body ain't cut out for anything past 10 p.m. I can't believe that.
I can't either. I felt so bad because we were supposed to stay like extra magic hours with our couple.
Yeah, at Disney
and,
World.
oof, we did not like. The bride literally looked at us and was like, "You want us to take you to your hotel?" And we
Please.
were like,
Please.
"You don't have to." And she was like, "No, I'm gonna take you right now." And I was like, "You angel."
But speaking of old bones, I've been in the wedding industry for 7.5 years. Logan, she's been in it for just a little bit over 6. Logan and I filmed our first wedding together approximately 4 days after I asked her to be my girlfriend in the Sonic parking lot.
Aw, was it that long after?
Yes,
Oh.
I remember.
Yeah, we went to Louisville. It was a very long day. It was a rainy day.
Crazy.
It was fun though.
Luckily, since then, I have learned to adapt to rainy days on wedding days. I think with age and time spent in a profession also comes wisdom and adapting to certain scenarios. And that was one of the things I really feel like I've gotten really good at.
Yeah, I think that like took me back to that day. Like I can picture us like at that church. But like from that day to today, it's like you know, you don't have to have like all the new stuff. Like, you know, like I feel like at one point we were trying to like keep up with equipment and like all the
I
things,
mean,
but
I
like
still am a gear snob,
I
but not as
know, but
bad.
not as bad. Like we have like our cameras that we love. We have our lenses that we love. Now lighting is hard, and
Lighting
we
has
have
been
come
a
a long
thing.
way with our lighting.
Lighting has been a thing that I have been really, really trying to perfect. Mostly because if you don't know anything about cameras, let me tell you something. It does not matter what kind of camera you have. What matters is how your scene is lit and the audio equipment you are using, and then you go from there. Because I can't believe for the first year and a half of me filming weddings, I did not have any lighting equipment.
I know. I was thinking about that. We really didn't get lighting until what later.
Later that year.
Yeah, that we were in
Yeah.
it together.
But luckily, we have. I'm a big fan of quick release items. Like this monopod that this camera right here is setting on is on the iFootage Cobra 3 Strike. You're like, that sounds like some Karate Kid or Cobra Kai stuff. Well, buddy, let me tell you something. It looks like a kendo stick.
It's crazy. It's on like one leg,
But if
and
we're
it's
talking
holding
about
this heavy gear.
if we're talking about gear that I absolutely love, that I wish I had way back when, on top of lighting, if I knew then what I know now, I would have a monopod just like that, and I would have lighting.
Yeah.
But it's just so crazy. You know, you live and you learn. Luckily, all of our clients have absolutely embraced us with open arms, our creativity. You know, I'm grateful for the most part. I'm grateful that we have hardly ran into any issues with people not liking their wedding films that we make for them.
I feel like those are so like one-offs. I feel like the last one I can think of is like a couple years ago.
Need you know that we actually met their need and we satisfied everything that they wanted fixed. It's just a couple little misunderstandings and stuff like that. But you know, I think whenever it comes to booking us for weddings, I think if you are inquiring with us, I think we're kind of on the same page.
Yeah, or at least we would hope so. I feel like a lot of people see us and they book us or they reach out to us out of recommendation. But I would hope that they've watched our work, and they have. My favorite thing is when someone says like, "Oh, I love this wedding film." And then, they're excited about their own wedding film because it's going to be different. Like you may have a favorite film.
It's my favorite thing about our wedding films is that I get told this all the time. Is that we have people watching our films who are so happy for the couple inside of the film and they don't even know who they are. Yeah. That means I have done a fantastic job.
Oh yeah. I love whenever you do a wedding and if I don't go, whenever you edit their film, I love watching it because it's like, it was like I was there. It's just so good. And usually I cry. I always cry.
Logan always cries. I catch myself. I'm telling on myself here. Nobody has ever heard me talk about this. Even Logan. I'll catch myself grinning ear to ear while I'm editing wedding films. And it's just like...
That's so cute.
I've never told anybody that. Yeah. Even you. I haven't told you that.
I know. Well, sometimes because I'll walk in and you'll have like your focused, I call it your grumpy face.
Well, but people call it my RBF. But
it's also
I refuse to say any bad language on this podcast.
Yeah. But hearing you say that makes me like happy because you're joyful in what you're doing. And that means like when you're there in the moment, you're probably have the same face on the other side of the camera.
It's just so cool that we get to be a part of people's biggest day of their lives.
I know.
And I get to do it almost every weekend or every other weekend.
Yeah. It's incredible. And it, after all this time, like sometimes it's scary being in this industry because you just don't know. Like, stuff can go out of style, and of course, your style of editing has changed over time to kind of adapt. But also, like, that's just you creatively. You've changed, and that's
I
okay.
rarely try to keep the same style
I
going.
feel like when TikTok like really, really blew up and like weddings were blowing up on TikTok, I feel like that was the moment where not just like us, but like anyone was trying to like keep up with the trends.
Yeah.
And now I just don't, you know, there might be some trends you want to do, like the sweet little, like, which I did it at our wedding, like the flower bouquets around the bride's head. Like that's a beautiful shot. And if you want that, get that. Like, it doesn't matter if it's trendy.
But, you know, I think a lot of things that, this is definitely going to be a hot topic whenever I put this out there. I think something that a lot of people in the industry really seem to get wrong is that things you see at a wedding are very repetitive for you, but this is the first time that couple is doing this. You know, that's the first time the groom and his mother are dancing to My Wish by Rascal Flatts.
Yes.
That is the first time they've ever done that.
Yes. And although we may hear that song quite often, and sometimes we wish that they would pick different songs.
Only time they've seen it or only time they've heard it is whenever they're practicing.
But yeah, I think that was one thing that I had to get through my brain like last year, was that, you know, yes, I've been to so many weddings, and like, yes, I'm already married, and we did our wedding and it was wonderful and it was great. But like, yes, I've seen certain things before, but this is the first time that like the bride is getting to get ready with her bridesmaids. And this is the first time the mom is seeing the bride all in her dress and her makeup and her hair.
And I think another thing that a lot of people it really didn't hit me until our wedding is that's also that's also one of the first, if not the very first time, all of the most important people in their life are under one roof, and it's for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was one thing that we like really took in on our wedding day, was that everyone that we know and love in that moment, like, is here.
All homies, no ops.
That's right. Maybe a couple ops.
But yeah, dude, it's really special. I want you to know that if you are a previous client of ours and you have watched our journey to two little lovebirds who are capturing y'all two little lovebirds get married, we want you to know how much we appreciate you, and we thank you. And thank you for taking a chance on us. It means the absolute world to us that you would choose us to capture your love story wherever it may be. It might be in a barn. It might be on the edge of a cliff. It might be at 5 a.m. at Animal Kingdom. We are forever indebted to you.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been in Animal Kingdom if it wasn't for everybody before.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy, man. I've been to 3 different countries because of me wanting to pick up a camera in 2017. And that's just so crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You know, you think about the grand scheme of life, and you think about if you wouldn't have done one thing, where would you have been? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And if I never, ever, one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, his name is Sam Coulter. He was a pioneer of like all those crazy drone transitions, you know, like the Luma
travel
vlogs, you know, the upbeat chain smokers, background music, you know, stuff like that. And if it weren't for me watching his video, My Year 2016, with Reverie by Illenium playing in the background, I probably wouldn't be a wedding filmmaker. And I know that sounds crazy,
but it's true.
If you don't know where Logan and I live, we live in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And in 2017, that was the center point of the solar eclipse. That was probably the craziest thing to ever happen to this little town.
I wouldn't give a number. I can't remember.
We had over 200,000 people in this town in one day, and it's not really that big of a town.
You literally low-key couldn't leave your house.
Yeah.
We had people where I lived at the time, which we didn't really. I mean, we knew of each other, but
I
we
knew who
didn't.
you was.
I know who you was.
Girl, I could not know.
Stop it. But if you didn't know, Hunter got his start because he made a cutie little video
About Hopkinsville with an iPhone 6 and a DJI Phantom 3. Standard. I have to put standard in there because the Pro looked really good. The standard did not. I went half with my mom and my dad for Christmas the year before in 2016. It was on sale on Black Friday for $550. I was like, oh, let's see what we can do. Hoptown about to have their big moment. And I went around to all these local businesses, and I even got the mayor at the time, Mr. Carter Hendricks. Love you, bud. We got him involved. We got everybody involved. And then going back to that My Year 2016 video by Sam Calder, I even used a song that was behind that. And in turn, ended up being the thing that kickstarted my entire career. It was crazy. I posted the video at my great aunt and uncle's 50th anniversary party. I went to the bathroom to post it, and I'll never forget whenever I posted the video, I would refresh, and within like 2 minutes, it had 50 likes, and I was like, what is going on?
What is happening?
You know, I feel like the way things go viral these days is a lot more algorithm based. But back in 2017,
if you were viral, like
if
that
you
was
were viral,
crazy.
you were not stopping that train.
Yeah.
It was not stopping.
I remember I watched it and I was so jealous because I was also into like the travel videos and all those things, and I wanted to do that so bad. Your girl can't edit, y'all. I can probably edit this, but like wedding films, I leave it to Hunter. I can't do it.
Dude.
I could do it, but I'm just not. Hunter just has a gift. And like I can see the vision from behind the camera so I can get the shots, but the editing it all together is just, it is a gift that you have. And so that was one thing I was so jealous. I was like, man, like he did that. Like, that's so good. And I remember sharing it. And I love like when it comes up on my memories on Facebook, because like I'd like wrote something, I think, in the caption whenever I shared it. And it's just so funny. Like,
That's your husband now.
I know. And like, I even had like you remember my little book? I had like a 5-year book.
Mm-hmm.
And every day for 5 years, you would answer a question a day, and you could like look back and see what your answers were.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is in 2018, the question was, who is your inspiration? And I put Hunter Ezell. And then fast forward like 6 months, we were dating. Isn't that crazy?
I used to pray for times like this to shine like this. Dude,
It's crazy.
it's so cool. But literally, dude.
And now look where you are.
If you could have told me that the video was called This Is Eclipseville, if you would have told me that video would have gotten me to where I am today, I would have absolutely told you you were bluffing. After that video was posted, I gave drone footage to John F. Kennedy's granddaughter, who was in Hopkinsville during the solar eclipse. She was filming some kind of apocalyptic show for True TV. I don't know if that ever saw the light of day or not. A lot of people were like, did you get paid for it? And I was like, no, I'm just trying to get my name out there, you know? And I think I gave footage to, I think the New York Times wrote an article about it. Or it was like the Chicago Tribune or something. I can't remember. But after that, I was granted an all-access pass. My badge got me anywhere. All the major news outlets had the same badge that little old 20-year-old Hunter Ezell had. I was working at Starbucks at the time, and you would have not believed the confidence that gave me. I was going around everywhere. BBC Germany saw my little country bumpkin tail out there at Ground Zero out on Princeton Road. It was like, let's interview this boy. That was crazy. I met some NASA astronauts.
I remember that. I remember you saying that.
Super awesome.
Yeah. So then once the eclipse, came and gone, I know you did like a little time lapse or some kind of video with that, right?
with the solar eclipse coming up, I posted that video. I want to say I posted it on July 15th, and the solar eclipse wasn't until August 21st. So it's great marketing on my behalf because I was trying to get people, this is what Hopkinsville has to offer, you know? And what's really cool is I had someone message me. I had 2 different people message me about job opportunities. And one of them is Miss Katie Moyer. She is the owner of Kentucky Hemp Works. She, one of the sweetest people I've ever known. And thank you, Katie, for taking a chance on little old Hunter back in the day. She asked me, she said, hey, would you be willing to come film the solar eclipse from my hemp field? I was like, sure, but I don't have a camera. Well, she cut me my payment early, and I bought my first camera with that. And, you know, back in the day, I was just making money to get gear to get going, you know. And I watched the solar eclipse from the hemp field. My parents and my sister were out there, and that was really cool. But about 2 days after she messaged me, a couple messaged me, Buddy and Michaela Cole, the first wedding I ever filmed. Bless them, love them to death. But she messaged me and was like, hey, can you film our wedding? I was like, yeah, I've never done that before. And she was like, can you edit it like your solar eclipse video? I was like, sure. So, like I said, I grinded a couple more little video gigs, and I bought a little gimbal, a little Zhiyun crane. Logan was using that setup whenever we started dating.
That sucker was heavy.
She was using that setup, crazy.
0 arm muscles.
Yeah, she got to get in the
Struggle.
gym.
I've been in the gym.
Well, you have been now, but you wasn't back
I
then.
was not back then.
I filmed that wedding. People started reaching out to me. Hey, you filmed my wedding. Hey, you filmed my wedding. And it's just crazy. A lot of 95% of our bookings have gone through because of word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would say majority of our bookings is word of mouth, or they saw us at a wedding and then watched that wedding film.
yeah, here recently, we have garnered a lot of traction on Instagram, partially because we have been posting on TikTok. And one of our favorite people who is going to be on the podcast later on this month, Peyton Ackerman, former Dance Moms star, she reached out. We filmed her wedding in 2023, and we've absolutely just, it's been crazy. I've had to turn my notifications off on Instagram. We went from 2,500 followers on Instagram to almost 25,000 in a year and a half.
It's been crazy. At first, we thought it was fake. We thought it was like bots. It was weird. But then it kept happening because there's a difference in having that many followers and like your engagement. So like
the engagement's there.
I know. That's what's crazy.
It's
like,
so funny.
That's what like verified it for me, was like, oh, like these are actual people that are actually following us and they're actually liking our posts.
It's so nuts, dude. I never would have thought. You know, our account's comparably small to, you know, like Kylie Jenner or Billie Eilish or
Selena Gomez.
John Cena.
John Cena. We can't bring up wrestling.
First episode, that's all we talked about. We're not doing that. Maybe I'll have a wrestler on here at some point.
Hey, that'd be crazy.
Let me get Ricochet on here. He's from Paducah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
But our Instagram account is comparably small to those accounts. It's like in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of people, but it is.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people, especially content creators and people trying to become influencers, whatever have you, I think you're like, oh my God, my post only got 100 likes. If you run that back and you are sitting there and you have 100 people in your house, that's a lot of freaking people.
That's what I was about to say. That's like my favorite comparison. Or like you got 20 likes on a post. Okay.
That's 20 different folks.
Imagine 20 people in this room.
20 people couldn't fit in this room.
No, they'd be crowded. So in the grand scheme of things, like, it don't matter.
It does not matter.
It does not
I
matter.
am very much a very strong believer in if you are proud of what you make, everybody else will follow suit.
That's right.
This podcast has become my little love child.
Yeah.
I have put so much thought into this podcast, making it perfect. We've got things that are coming up down the road. We've got a spin the wheel thing sitting behind this camera right here. But if there's another thing that I really enjoy doing outside podcasting,
I forgot.
is food reviews.
Yay.
If you follow me on Facebook, I know that makes me sound 50 to 60 years old. You would know that I like to be a slight menace to society. I try the foods that most people won't. The thing that got me into doing food reviews was I was browsing in Walmart one day. And I said, Logan, look. We were in the ice cream aisle. She cut her head over. She said, Hunter, don't do this to me. It was Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream. Like we said before with the Epic Universe stuff, we're going to plop some footage right here for you to look. Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream. Like I said, I try the things people won't. But today, Miss Logan and I are going to try something real crazy. And it's going to be the craziest cut because the next shot is us with them in our hands. Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. Please go easy on me with this one.
I'm scared. I don't try stuff like
Today,
this.
ladies and gentlemen, we are trying sour dill pickles. And the best part about it is that they are themed after the Warhead sour candies. May God have mercy on her soul.
I don't like sour things. And I don't like pickles.
Your attitude's sour sometimes.
Okay, well, I don't like pickles or sour things.
So, y'all, check this out.
Here's mine. Blue raspberry.
It says, survive the sour, hashtag sour pickle challenge.
Hunter, you are not making me try this.
Sour dill pickle, extreme sour. Hers is blue raspberry flavored. Show them, bro.
I already did. Like
Look at
7
that.
times. It stinks.
Good Lord. RFK Jr. done banned that food dye.
Hunter, smell it. It's so bad.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's awful.
That's crazy.
Shoot.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's blue. I am like, oh, I'm keeping this in. Oh, the smell. I hope I don't throw up.
So, y'all, think about me and Logan. The stark contrast between me and Miss Logan is that she hates pickles. I love pickles, all
I
right?
hate pickles and I hate sour
But
things.
this smells crazy.
I told you.
This smells crazy,
I
bro.
told you.
You're absolutely joking me right now.
I told you. It's so bad.
You know what? Hold on. No, I'm going to keep the suspense going for you. I'm going to do
What?
it first.
I'm going to pee myself. Oh, that's so ugly. Is that like an actual pickle? Don't pull it all the way out.
Hold on. All right. Hey, it's for your ASMR people.
You spilled it. You spilling it. Is it bad? I cannot believe you're making me try this. Hunter, my pickle is blue. Is it bad? It ain't good.
Oh, Jesus.
He didn't like it.
My
I'm
jaws
scared.
hurt.
Hunter, I'm scared.
Who thinks of this stuff, bro?
I don't know, but I don't like them.
Whoa, it's blue!
I told you. Do you see this? Hunter, I hate you for this. Okay. It's a cucumber. It's a cucumber. It's a cucumber. It's a cucumber. Y'all
You
pray
got
for
it.
me.
You got it.
It's a cucumber. I can't. I'm so sorry.
I wanted some of that.
I can't. Well, you can eat it. It's not
No,
like
you spit it back in there. Are you crazy?
Hunter, we're married. You can try it later.
Pick it up out of there. Pick it up out of there. Look at that thing.
It's so nasty. Okay, be careful.
Here, try this one.
I'm not trying it. You gonna throw up. Eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Bite. It's still on my tongue. I went to the dentist today. I need to go back.
Honey, what y'all doing?
You made me try that. Are you taking another bite?
Hold on.
Your mouth is blue.
What?
It's blue. Is mine?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. What a way to end the episode. A nasty...
Oh.
Oh, there it is. There's the sour. If I got a real good bite, that's what my face would have looked like.
Oh.
So,
Well, hey, sorry for the sour ending, but
if you like this episode,
if you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and Instagram. All those handles will be right here.
and leave us a review. Apparently, that's good for us. So,
All of those
5 stars.
All of those social media handles are going to be right here for you. But hey, until we see you again, please love yourself, love others, put your best foot forward. We love you. We will see you later next time on Creative Chaos.
And don't try a sour pickle.
Do what you want.